Good afternoon and Salam Malaysia Madani. This is World Today. Let's take a look at some of the stories we are following. On Friday, President Donald Trump announced plans for the United States to shortly claim sovereignty over the Strait of Hormuz after defeating Iran. He confirmed that the U.S. blockade on the vital maritime passage remains active, giving American forces complete control over vessel traffic. Trump also noted that the conflict has crippled Iran's ruling regime, leaving no surviving officials to conduct diplomatic talks. China is lowering retail fuel prices starting today in response to shifting global oil markets. The National Development and Reform Commission announced the gasoline prices will drop by 231 per tonne, while diesel prices will be reduced by 221 per tonne. The United Kingdom has committed £16.3 million to bolster Lebanon's security sector through a newly signed Memorandum of Understanding. Announced by the British Embassy in Beirut, the financial package is designed to support the Lebanese armed forces and internal security forces, reinforce government authority, and enhance the overall stability and resilience of national defense institutions. France's Constitutional Council on Friday struck down a law banning social media access for children under 15, ruling that the measure constituted a disproportionate infringement on freedom of expression. The constitutional authority stated that the blanket ban would apply to online communication services whose risks to minors' health and safety have not been established. Indonesia's Meteorology, Climatology and Geophysical Agency, BMKG, reported that a magnitude 7.7 earthquake jolted the Flores region early today, triggering a tsunami warning. According to the agency, the epicenter was located 36 kilometers northeast of Mbe, East Nusa Tenggara province, at a depth of 15 kilometers. On to full bulletin. President Donald Trump on Friday said he would soon declare the Strait of Hormuz waterway part of U.S. territory and defeating Iran. Trump also said the U.S. blockade of the strategic waterway remains in place, claiming that no ships get through unless we want them to.
And after we finish defeating Iran, which is being very badly defeated, pretty soon I'll be declaring the Hormuz Strait a territory of the United States.
He also said Iran's leadership has been decimated by the war, leaving him with no one to negotiate with. Trump, together with Israel, launched a war against Iran on the 28th of February with the stated aims of ending the country's controversial nuclear program and sparking a popular uprising. However, Iran struck back by establishing de facto control over much of the Strait of Hormuz, a vital passageway for large amounts of global energy and other commodity shipping. The United States remained locked in a stalemate with Iran over the strait, with Iran denying access to much of the civilian shipping and the U.S. Navy mounting a blockade of Iranian ports in an attempt to cripple its economy. On a related note, Iran has rejected U.S. claims that Washington controls the Strait of Hormuz, insisting that no commercial vessel or oil tanker can pass safely without Tehran's permission and supervision. The spokesman for Iran's Khatam al-Anbiya Central Headquarters, Bahrain Zolfagari, dismissed U.S. statements regarding vessel traffic and territorial claims over the Strait of Blazeless. Zolfagari said the Strait of Hormuz remains under Tehran's full control, warning that no commercial or oil tanker can safely pass without official permission. The military official added that Iranian forces are closely monitoring U.S. and Israeli activity in the region and will retaliate against any threat. The remarks came as Iran insisted the strategic waterway would remain closed unless Washington accepted Tehran's conditions for ending the conflict. Iran's displayed its battlefield spoils on Friday, releasing footage it claimed showed the wreckage of American and Israeli drones and part of a U.S. fighter jet shot down during the war. Footage shows mangled drones, smashed airframes, small engines and twisted metal laid out in a bunker. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps (IRGC) said the wreckage included US MQ-9 Reaper drones and Israeli Hermes 900 reconnaissance drones, as well as parts of a US Air Force F-15 fighter jet. The IRGC added the aircraft were intercepted and destroyed by newly developed domestic air defense systems, presenting the wreckage as part of a haul of military spoils brought down during the fighting. The display lands as another battle plays out over the Strait of Hormuz, with Tehran and Muscat in talks over a safe maritime passage through one of the world's most important shipping routes. China will reduce retail prices of gasoline and diesel starting today to reflect changes in international oil prices. According to National Development and Reform Commission, gasoline prices will be cut by 230 yuan per tonne and diesel prices will drop by 220 yuan per tonne. Under China's current pricing mechanism, domestic gasoline and diesel prices are adjusted every 10 working days in line with changes in international crude oil prices. Since the previous domestic pricing adjustment on the 31st of July, tensions among the US, Israel and Iran have eased, boosting market expectations for the full reopening of the Strait of Hormuz and triggering a sharp drop in international crude oil prices. However, crude prices bounced back and fluctuated upward later amid deadlocked US-Iran negotiations. Even so, the average international oil price during the 10 working days considered for this round of adjustment was lower than the recorded in the previous pricing cycle, leading to the domestic price cuts. Senior analysts warn that multiple risks continue to unsettle the global oil market and may drive up future prices. The British Embassy in Beirut said on Friday the UK has signed a Memorandum of Understanding (MOU) worth £16.3 million, approximately $22 million to support the Lebanese army and internal security forces. The embassy said in a statement that the MOU was signed on Thursday with Lebanon's Ministry of Interior and Municipality and Ministry of National Defense under the 31-month Internal Security Assistance Program for Lebanon's internal security forces. According to Lebanon's national news agency, Lebanese Interior Minister Ahmad Al-Hajjar, Defense Minister Michael Manassa and British Ambassador Hamish Cowell signed the memorandum at the Interior Ministry in Beirut. The embassy said the program aims to support the Lebanese armed forces and internal security forces, enhance security and stability, consolidate state authority, and increase the resilience of security institutions. The program will also support professional, responsible, and effective responses to current and emerging internal and external security challenges. France's top court on Friday blocked a bill banning social media access for under-15s, saying it infringed upon freedom of expression, a setback for President Emmanuel Macron, who asked his government to rewrite the legislation. The authority stated that the blanket ban would apply to online communication services whose risks to minors' health and safety have not been established. The Constitutional Council said the law effectively requires everyone, including adults, to verify their age before accessing certain online services after banning access for minors under 15. French lawmakers had approved a ban on social media access for children under age 15, becoming the first in Europe to follow Australia, whose world first ban barred access to platforms including Facebook, TikTok and YouTube for under 16s in December 2025. Macron has ordered Prime Minister Sébastien Lecornu to rework the draft legislation to take the Constitutional Council's concerns into account. Macron was determined the reform take effect before spring 2027, when France holds a presidential election. Next, wildfires burn cemetery, threaten vineyards in Croatian wine village.
Kemerdekaan adalah apabila hati memilih untuk terus bersatu. Janji.
Semangat wajah kan ku bertaruhkan nyawa demi sejahtera semua negaraku yang merdeka.
Welcome back. A strong 7.7 magnitude earthquake struck off Flores Island in eastern Indonesia early today, triggering a tsunami warning and prompting hundreds to evacuate. Indonesia's Meteorology, Climatology and Geophysics Agency warned there was a possibility of tsunami waves being generated by the quake. Tsunami modeling results indicate that this earthquake has the potential to generate a tsunami in the provinces of East Nusa Tenggara, South Sulawesi and West Nusa Tenggara. Residents in the town of Flores Island, about 2,400 kilometers away, were evacuating to higher ground. The sea in the area could be seen receding, a common phenomenon ahead of a possible tsunami. Authorities have not reported any casualties but said tsunami waves between 19 and 30 centimeters have been detected. Fire swept across Croatia's Pelješac Peninsula, forcing people from their homes and damaging property, including vineyards and cemetery, as aircrafts and firefighters battle to bring the flames under control. Strong winds spread it quickly across the peninsula. Smoke rose over the blackened ground, leaving burnt land and ruins behind, among them a cemetery with churches, ruins and a local vineyard. The Pelješac fire was not Croatia's only battle. Overnight, a separate wildfire tore through the resort of Ogos, burning homes, killing one person, injuring 40 and forcing 1,200 people to flee. Meanwhile, wildfires have also broken out in Germany, where a blaze in the western part of the country forced more than 2,000 people to evacuate their homes. Drone footage showed thick smoke rising over the affected forest area. About 300 hectares were burning, with 2 German army tanks helping firefighters by clearing access routes through the forest area that were difficult to reach. Unexploded World War II ammunition in parts of the surrounding forest and the hilly terrain is preventing complete clearance of the area, and occasional detonations were heard during the wildfire. British Prime Minister Andy Burnham pledged more resources for firefighting services as firefighters grappled with a wildfire in Stourbridge, central England. The West Midlands Fire Service said on Friday that 14 fire engines remained on the scene, with firefighters continuing to extinguish hotspots and monitor areas.
I've never seen anything like it. I mean, I dealt with wildfires in Greater Manchester, but nothing on this scale. I've never seen scenes like this in Britain, where you just see a whole house gutted, smouldering. And I met one of the families whose house had gone up in that way. So you can imagine how distressing that is for them, and you feel for them. The kids have had to go elsewhere. You know, it's just unbelievably devastating for people in this position. So it's why I'm here. It's why I'm here.
Wildfires in England and Wales have hit a record level, fire chiefs said on Friday, warning the rescue services were battling to keep up with the rising risk a day after fires raced from tinder-dry fields to engulf houses on the hottest day of the year. Britain has not faced anything like the devastation rout across Spain, France and elsewhere in Europe this year, but as it endures its 5th heat wave, what it is expected to be its hottest ever summer is dealing with more outbreaks of fire than ever before. In In sports, pocket rocketman on the list for the Los Angeles 2028 Olympics, LA 28.
Kita bertahan bersama. Tanah air tercinta. Janji.
Terus melangkah, tetap terpahat di dada. Kita sejahtera bersama Malaysia.
Let's kick off our sports segment with local news. Fresh from ending Malaysia's 16-year wait for a Commonwealth Games men's keirin gold, national track cycling ace Dato' Muhammad Azizul Hasni Awang is already on the radar for the Los Angeles 2028 Olympics, LA 28. National Sports Council NSC Director General Jeffrey Ngadirin said Azizul Hasni, the Tokyo 2020 Olympic silver medalist, had been included in the Olympic pathway as one of the athletes to receive focused support in preparations for the prestigious Games.
Dan kedua-dua pihak Malaysian dan KBM telah pun setuju dengan Olympic pathway yang akan melibatkan Dato' Azizul sebagai salah seorang atlet yang akan diberikan tumpuan. Olympic pathway kita dah bentang, dah setuju. Malaysian dan juga pihak PGM akan menyokong sepenuhnya apa saja perancangan yang beliau perlukan untuk membolehkan beliau bersedia untuk ke Olympic LA nanti.
He said the plan was discussed and presented to the Malaysian National Cycling Federation MNCF in June, with both parties agreeing to support the preparations Dato' Azizul Hasni requires should he decide to pursue another Olympic campaign. Jeffrey also said Dato' Azizul Hasni would announce his decision on whether to compete at LA 28 after the 2026 Aichi Nagoya Asian Games. Jeffrey stressed that government support for the pocket rocketman was not dependent solely on his status in the Road to Gold RTG program, as the podium program also provides support to national athletes in their bid to qualify for the Olympics. Dato' Azizul Hasni was previously part of the RTG program for Paris 2024 before deciding to continue his career as a professional cyclist last year. Move on to foreign sports stories. Al Hilal got their Saudi Pro League season underway with a convincing 40 victory against newly promoted Al Faisali on Friday. 3 goals in 9 first-half minutes set the Riyadh side on their way, Karim Benzema stepping up from the spot in the 19th minute before Malcolm and a Ruben Neves spot kick had effectively ended the encounter inside half an hour. In response, there were debut goals from Al Faisal's Alexandre Mendy and the Theo Bongonda either side of the hour mark, following their summer moves from Montpellier and Spartak Moscow respectively. However, Portuguese international Neves had the final say, saying again the spot reinstating Al Hilal's 2-goal lead with 8 minutes to go. Al Hilal finished last season second in the division, 2 points behind champions Al Nassr, despite not losing a league game. In tennis, Colombian Emilia Arango handed Venus Williams a 14th straight loss dating to July of last year, defeating the fading 7-time Grand Slam champion, who is currently ranked 615th in 66 minutes by 6-2, 6-2 at the ATP WTA Cincinnati Masters. The victory saw Arango 25 record her second WTA 1000 level win of the season, marking one of the biggest moments of her career after defeating the 46-year-old player. Williams was given a wildcard entry at the event, where she reached a semi-final a dozen years ago. She has played and lost 11 times this season while competing on organizer-free entries. Venus will continue her campaign in Cincinnati, where she is scheduled to pair up with her younger sister Serena Williams in the doubles event. Meanwhile, Czech Sara Blejlek allowed compatriot and 2016 title holder Karolina Pliskova only 2 games in the first round 6-0, 6-2 rout in the first round in just 65 minutes. Pliskova, who won the Cincinnati title in 2016, struggled with her serve and enforced errors. Bejlek took full advantage, delivering the first set bagel 6-0 and controlling the tempo throughout the 65-minute match. Bejlek will face another countrywoman in the second round, number 23 seed Barbara Krejcikova. Kick back and relax with our offbeat selection of stories this weekend. Stay tuned.
Malaysia is a diverse country made up from many different races. Despite the differences, Malaysians have been continuing to live along side by side, united by pledge to the country. There's also another element, or rather a dish, that quietly unites every breakfast table. Nasi Lemak. Nasi Lemak is a fragrant rice cooked in coconut milk and pandan leaves, paired with sambal that delivers just the right kick, all wrapped simply in a banana leaf. But behind its everyday presence lies a story of heritage, identity, and survival through time. The roots of Nasi Lemak can be traced to traditional Malay village life, where rice, coconuts, and banana leaves were part of everyday living. What began as a simple meal for farmers has grown into one of Malaysia's most iconic dishes, enjoyed across communities and generations. In 2024, its place in the nation's food heritage gained international recognition when UNESCO inscribed Malaysia's breakfast culture on the representative list of intangible cultural heritage of humanity, celebrating traditions centered around foods such as nasi lemak, roti canai, and teh tarik.
Of course, it started as an ethnic Malay dish, but today, Nasi Lemak has become a national dish, in fact, international dish. So by becoming a national dish, it has gained national importance. Cultural heritage is concerned. So it has a special meaning in our hearts as Malaysians. It is our national food. It is pride of the nation.
I think Nasi Lemak is the best food in Malaysia because wherever we go, we can see all the races eat the same food like Nasi Lemak, and we all enjoy eat Nasi Lemak.
If ada Nasi Lemak, sambal ikan bilis, kacang and telur. So perfect combo.
I've tried Nasi Lemak.
Nasi Lemak.
Nasi Lemak. It's very difficult, but yeah, very good.
Saya sebagai rakyat Malaysia berasa bangga bila makanan kita ada yang bukan saja setakat orang Melayu yang makan, tetapi berbagai kaum daripada segi India, Melayu, Cina. Sambutan ini amat menggalakkan.
Today, Nasi Lemak continues to evolve. From roadside stalls and family-run businesses to modern cafes and delivery platforms, the dish has adapted to changing tastes and lifestyles.
I don't think if you want to use the word evolve, it has not evolved into something completely new. As I said many times, the basic version is still there. So the add-ons are more for the enhanced Nasi Lemak itself, for a variety of other flavors.
For me, mestilah dalam banana leaf sebab actually the aroma of the banana leaf tu memang dapat tahu bau dia waktu kita makan. Nak dibandingkan dengan kita makan dalam pinggan tu.
So kita kena kekalkan yang original dan rasa dia tu kena kekalkan supaya tak ditelan zaman, orang cakap. Budak-budak kecil pun akan kenal nasi lemak yang original punya.
In a rapidly modernizing Malaysia, Nasi Lemak is more than just a meal. It is a living heritage, preserved not behind glass displays, but through everyday experiences in homes, hawker stalls, and neighborhood eateries. Preserving food heritage is not about keeping traditions frozen in time, but ensuring they continue to be appreciated, shared, and passed on to future generations. So the next time you unwrap a packet of Nasi Lemak, remember, you're not just enjoying a Malaysian favorite. You're experiencing a tradition that has connected generations, communities and cultures for decades. Simple, familiar and undeniably Malaysian. Chantrika Shankar, RTM World.
In theatres now, director David Robert Mitchell delivers a high-concept sci-fi thriller with The End of Oak Street. Set in 1982, the story follows Denise and Greg Platt, played by Anne Hathaway and Evan McGregor, whose quiet suburban life is abruptly shattered by an impossible world-bending event. Cut off from everything they know and trapped in a dangerously unfamiliar reality, the family must confront their own hidden tensions to survive. Blending 1980s nostalgia with heart-pounding suspense, Mitchell crafts an edge-of-your-seat mystery that keeps audiences guessing until the very last frame. With a cost around $85 million and distributed by Warner Bros. Pictures, this film earned standout praise by the film critics for grounding the wild premise in authentic emotional stakes. And that's it from us this afternoon. Tonight, Malaysia Tonight comes on at 8:30 this evening on TV1 and RTM World on Berita RTM News Channel. Until next time, Malaysia Madani, kesejahteraan dinikmati. Thanks for watching Malaysia.
Aku kasih Malaysia, tanah tumpah darahku selamanya. Jalur gemilang berkibar megah di hatiku takkan berubah. Aku kasih Malaysia, walau badai datang melanda, kita berdiri teguh bersama demi tanah air tercinta. Bersama Malaysia Madani, negara dihormati dan disegani. Pelbagai bangsa hidup harmoni, muafakat utuh bertoleransi.